For most of us, cartoons conjure up images of Saturday mornings spent drooling into cereal bowls while watching Roadrunner outsmart Wile E Coyote. While one might associate them with good feelings, laughter, and joy, there is a dark side. We discovered a number of instances where episodes were aired and taken down due to being too inappropriate for young audiences. Today, we would like to share what we deem to be the worst examples.
That's it! I'm suing this entire intolerant town!
In 1991, Michael Jackson lent his voice to The Simpsons episode Stark Raving Dad, playing a character who lived in a mental institution and who claimed to be the singer himself. For years, people assumed Michael Jackson played the role, but it wasn't confirmed for a very long time. After the recent controversial documentary Leaving Neverland came out, there has been a lot of public outcry. In the doc, two men claim they were abused by Jackson, so executive producer James L. Brooks felt as though it was the right decision to remove the episode from streaming services and future DVDs as a move of solidarity with Michael Jackson's victims. Not only will you not find the episode on The Simpsons World, but don't expect to see it airing on FXX or Fox Networks either. In 1997, Pokémon released an episode where Ash and his friends enter a computer in order to fix a system malfunction. While inside the corrupt computer, the screen fills with excessive amounts of red and blue lights flashing. Upon seeing this, around 12,000 unsuspecting viewers in Japan experienced everything from intense nausea to temporary blindness. Reports say that over 600 people were sent to the hospital, some having to stay there for over 2 weeks. Headlines dubbed this fiasco as Pokémon Shock. Needless to say, it never aired again. The show Tiny Toon Adventures was about a ragtag team of friends who attended Acme Acres University in hopes of learning a thing or two from Bugs Bunny and the like.
Do I get my check now? My scene's over.
The episode One Beer caused quite a stir when it tried to show the dangers of underage drinking. In it, Buster, Plucky, and Hampton decide to crack a couple cold ones and end up stealing a car, driving it drunk, and killing themselves. As you can probably tell, parents didn't love the intensity of this angle, and the episode was put to rest. Can you imagine a modern-day show like The Loud House featuring the group of siblings breaking into the parents' liquor cabinet? What were they thinking back in the 90s? Betty Boop is known as animation's original sex symbol. Although she's depicted as a fun-loving jazz-age flapper, her show has received heat for showing racist depictions of African Americans and Native peoples, as well as having a plethora of overtly sexual content. Surprisingly, one of the banned episodes didn't have to deal with Betty showing too much skin or booping her way around town. It was banned for a whole different reason: drug use. In 1993, the episode titled Ha 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 was released, showing Betty performing amateur dentistry on Coco and giving him laughing gas. The gas spreads throughout the city, causing both people and inanimate objects to explode into laughter. If Mighty Mouse and Mickey Mouse were in a standoff, Mighty Mouse might have a bit of an advantage due to his super strength, psychokinesis, and X-ray vision. Although he seems like an all-powerful rodent, the little guy got involved in a controversy that sullied his good name. In the 1988 episode The Littlest Tramp, a mouse girl gives Mighty Mouse some crushed flowers. In an attempt to smell them, he accidentally inhales them. After seeing this, a family in Kentucky spoke up in protest, claiming that it looks as though he's snorting cocaine. Despite taking on some major villains and constantly saving the day, who could predict that Mighty Mouse would be stopped by a single family watching some good old Saturday morning cartoons? Peppa Pig seems like a reasonably tame show, right? While most of the episodes are innocuous, there was a bit of a stir that arose after the episode Mr. Skinny Legs came out. In it, the message tells children that spiders can be our friends. In Australia, parents weren't too jazzed on this, as where they come from, arachnids are extremely deadly. Imagine how many children ventured outside to interact with these deadly spiders because the cartoon pigs told them to do so. This pro-spider episode was not aired again. Down came the censor rain and wiped that spider out. The show Beavis and Butthead is known for pushing the envelope. Multiple episodes have been banned for showing animal cruelty, acts involving fire, and characters inhaling stove gas. You know, classic animated show moments. In the episode Heroes, the boys obtain guns illegally, then proceed to shoot down a jumbo jet. Even in 1993, years before the September 11th attacks, these actions were pretty shocking to see on television. The writers didn't stop there. After the crash, Beavis and Butthead then visit the wreckage and decide to torment the passengers and leave them to fend for themselves. No matter how crazy Beavis and Butthead act, these actions were pretty brutal. It was rightfully pulled after this initial screening. It's pretty hard to believe Ren and Stimpy premiered on Nickelodeon rather than a more adult-oriented channel. The risque cartoon often pushed limits, and young children had the option of owning all types of merch featuring the deranged characters from the show. In Season 2, Ren and Stimpy released an episode called Man's Best Friend, in which George Liquor adopts the two pals as his pets. It takes a turn when they realize that George is a bit of an abusive owner.
Let's see what you got in there. 1, 2,
When they don't follow his orders, George becomes enraged and punishes them. While any pet would be reasonably upset by this treatment, Ren gets extremely violent and ends up beating his master to a pulp. People were so upset by this that the creator ended up being fired by Nickelodeon because of it. And thanks to YouTube, we can check out the episode over and over and over and over again. The show Gargoyles is about, you guessed it, gargoyles who have reawakened after 1,000 years to a modern-day New York City. The episode Deadly Force was supposed to teach its viewers about gun violence, but ended up causing a huge controversy. In it, a woman is caught in the crossfire and is accidentally shot and shown dead in a pool of her own blood. Yikes! Not a real fun way to wake up on a Saturday morning. It was pulled for being too graphic, but later re-aired with the blood removed. Dexters Laboratory was a Cartoon Network show about a boy genius whose experiments keep getting foiled by his older sister Dee Dee. In the episode Dial M for Monkey, the show got shamed for copyright infringements. The title of the episode was a spoof of DC's comic book Dial H for Hero, and included a character based off the Silver Surfer called the Silver Spooner. A character who looked suspiciously like the Incredible Hulk made an appearance, and that got Marvel mad. They started making threats, and the episode ended up being pulled. We're pretty sure the episode is not considered canon in the MCU, and never will be. Another Dexters Lab episode that never aired in the US was called Rude Removal. In it, Dexter created a machine that removes rude tendencies from his sister Dee Dee. The brother and sister end up splitting into two versions of themselves. One set is polite, and the other set swear like sailors.
It removed our toxins. We're the toxins. Are you listening, you stupid little garbage person?
Although the language is bleeped out, you can still see what the kids are mouthing, and it is far from appropriate.
Oh dear!
After children discovered this little detail, parents were livid, and Rude Removal was removed from TV. Without a doubt, the darkest King of the Hill episode is Pygmalion. It was originally supposed to be a Halloween special in Season 5, but was held back by Fox until Season 7 due to it being full-on disturbing. In the episode, Luann starts dating a guy named Trip Larson, who everyone is suspicious of. Trip Larson was voiced by none other than Michael Keaton, who really layered on the creepiness for this role.
Go back to bed, honey.
Luann thinks the relationship is all fine and dandy until things get weird. He drugs her and dyes her hair in the night and proposes to her while dressed up in a pig costume. Luann, with the help of Peggy, ended up impaling him in a slaughterhouse. Apparently, the original ending of this was even worse. We were supposed to see Trip's mutilated corpse hanging on a hook. Thank God that didn't make the cut. In the Family Guy episode, Partial Terms of Endearment, Lois decides to be a surrogate mother for her old friend. After Lois becomes pregnant, her friend and her husband are tragically killed, and it's up to Lois and Peter to decide what to do with the unborn fetus. Peter is influenced by pro-life activists and wants to keep the baby, but Lois goes through with an abortion. During the closing seconds of the show, the abortion is revealed with a quick statement.
We had the abortion.
And one-liner as the show cuts to black. Fox Broadcasting Company had to ban the episode to avoid any debates, protests, or viewer complaints. Futurama got put on the naughty list when they released a Christmas episode about a killer robot Santa. In the episode, this wannabe Santa starts killing everyone instead of spreading holiday cheer. After getting some backlash for this, Fox pulled the episode but ended up bringing it back a year later in a later time slot. This decision was made in hopes that younger audiences wouldn't see all the bloodlust and carnage, and that only adults would be watching at the wee hours of the night. As we know, kids have a way of watching TV even when they're not supposed to, so in our eyes, this didn't exactly solve the problem. South Park is straight up banned in India for vulgarity. Not just a couple episodes, the entire show. Episode 200, however, was banned worldwide. In it, the character Tom Cruise and other celebrities want to file a lawsuit against the town. After being asked to abandon this cause, Tom Cruise says he will do so if he can get the Islamic prophet Muhammad to meet him.
All right, now we just need to figure out how to get Muhammad from the back of the truck into Tom Cruise's limo.
Because depicting Muhammad in pretty much any shape or form is strictly forbidden in Islam, a radical Muslim organization called Revolution Muslim threatened the writers that if they didn't pull the episode, they would be murdered. Because of this, Comedy Central removed all references to the religious figure. After years of portraying controversial figures, it seems like South Park finally met their match in the parody department. Interestingly enough, however, they had already run an episode titled Super Best Friends that depicted Muhammad as a member of a Justice League parody group.
Muhammad showed up and there was no violence at all.
And you know that episode was immediately pulled as well following the 200th episode controversy. We hope you enjoyed learning a little history on what doesn't fly on TV. There are countless of other episodes that got canceled, so if we missed a particularly juicy one, please let us know. We are always interested in the best-kept secrets of the television industry. Until then, be sure to subscribe to our channel to keep your eye on our new videos. We'll see you next time.